Good evening, everyone. We have a full gallery in here. It's nice to see some bright faces here. I am officially calling the meeting to order exactly 5:30 p.m. for February 24th, 2026. First of all, little off agenda, I want to do a moment of silence for a community member that passed away suddenly today. Not going to name their name. I'm sure you'll find out soon enough, but if we could just take that moment and reflect on their career here in the community for just a moment. And I thank you for that. Next, we have the district vision, and that would be Mr. Choate.
Yeah, thank you. I have the honor of reading the district vision and the invocation for this evening. So, our district's vision, the school district of Manatee County will be an exemplary, student-focused school system that develops lifelong learners to be globally competitive. And this evening, for invocation, I had the honor of Major Thomas Richmond from the commanding officer of the Salvation Army of Manatee County to come on up and give us our invocation. So, if you please stand, if you're able.
Pray with me. Our Father and our most gracious God, we thank you. We thank you for institutions like this that bring together men and women, ideas from the community, vision that is centered around teaching our youngsters how important it is to love each other, to love the country that they live in, and to love you. We pray today, Lord, that you would, just as your word tells us, that not to suffer the little children to come to us, but that we, Father, would lift them up as not just the children of today, but the future of tomorrow. Continue to give our board members and our parents, our teachers, our educators, the vision to keep moving forward and teaching our kids that there is something more important than just the here and now. Guide us now and watch over us in all that we do. I thank you, Lord. I ask that you would just bless our beautiful city, the state that we live within, and this country that we all call home. And I pray, Lord, that you would help us to keep our eyes focused on you. We ask all this as is fitting in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to.
Yeah,
And now,
gotta read whoever it is.
yeah. Now I'd like to recognize our color guard from Manatee High School, escorted by Lieutenant Colonel retired K. Todd Crawford. The members of the cadets are Cadet Jocelyn Navas, Cadet Sidley Sosha, Cadet David Hernandez, and Cadet Davian Randall.
Mark sign.
And if you'd please stand while we have recognition from our superintendent to recognize our veteran to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have the honor leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance for tonight's meeting is U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Maureen Kozlerich, an 8th grade ELA teacher at Lincoln Memorial Middle School. Maureen served 4 years on active duty, and she is in her 4th year as reservist assigned to the 4th Joint Communications Squadron at MacDill Air Force Base. She has earned the Army Commendation Medal and previously served with the 436th Civil Affairs Battalion in Pinellas Park and the 689th Engineer Company in Orlando and the 16th Combat Aviation Brigade at Fort Lewis, Washington. Maureen has brought 2 very special guests, her children, Ellie and Talon, who will join her in leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Right, face. Forward, march.
Okay, you can be seated. Thank you for that. It's always nice to have our color guard come in to our meetings.
Madam Chair, if I may.
You may.
Someone over, please. Thank you for your courageous service to our country. We're honored to have you here working in our district. And thank you so much for bringing your children over here as well. We have a flag given by our Congressman Vern Buchanan on behalf of your service. So thank you so much.
We're so appreciative of the congressman to give us those flags for our veterans when they come into our meetings. Now we have approval of the agenda. The chair found good cause to amend the agenda to include all items under the agenda amendments on February 20, 2026. And those amendments were to include the world language and a travel for myself. So I am looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
I'll second.
Madam Chair, now that you have that motion in second, I have a motion to amend the agenda.
Okay,
And what I would like to do with the board's approval is move our Black History Month proclamation, which is under new business 14, item 2. And I would ask the board to please vote to move that item to student celebrations, which currently includes the celebration of Rogers Garden Bullock Elementary School. I would suggest that we do that proclamation before the celebration of Rogers Garden Bullock. So I guess that is my motion to amend. So to move the Black History Month proclamation to student celebrations, item number 1.
okay, so we have a motion to move new business item number 2 to student celebrations, item number 8, under student celebrations.
Yeah, and then
I would need-
the first item under number 8.
So you want it to be 8.1,
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
okay? See a speaker with a. And that will fail for lack of a second. And then I have Ms. Felton lit up.
I believe there was a reason why we had to move it to, we would have had it there, but I believe there was a reason we had to move it to new business. I can't remember what that reason was. So if anybody in the area would like to explain that, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know there was some discussion as to there was a reason.
Mr. Dye, would you like to speak to the reason why it is listed under new business?
Thank you, Superintendent. I'm happy to. Well, it's a proclamation is an action of the board, so it requires a board vote, which is my rationale of why it would be part of new business. So it's just more of the place in the agenda where you would normally place a matter that requires board action.
Okay,
Madam Chair, may I respond?
yes.
I'll address the board. Attorney Dye, I respectfully, I think that by voting to approve the agenda, that is the vote, that meets the requirement of it being approved by the board. because whether it's on new business at the end of the agenda or if it's at the start of the agenda, it's still a vote approves the agenda to start the meeting. And so where it is on the agenda to me is not relevant. It's just that we're voting to approve. I understand my first motion has now failed for lack of a second. I guess I'll try one more time. If we could amend the agenda to move it to after the celebration of Rogers Garden Bullock, because I don't know, but I think there are perhaps people here who could be here for the proclamation, and I don't want to make them sit all the way through the meeting, especially when these two items really dovetail and go together pretty well. So I'm making a new motion to amend the agenda, if I get a second, and if the board approves it.
So your new motion is to move item 13.2 to 8.2.
14.2 to 8.2, yes, ma'am.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And that would also need a second.
Can I ask how does that change from the first one?
Because it's a different motion because I'm asking to put it in a different place. It's a technicality, but
Gotcha.
I'm trying to get to the same.
I want to real quick, Mr. Dye, to what you're saying. The policy that we did back in April about proclamations, the 28 days, it having to come to the board's going to approve, is the reason why we're voting on these now. In the past, we never really had a policy for any proclamation we ever did, correct?
That's correct. It should be a vote. It's a board action. It's not just given by the chair without board approval.
Can we even vote in item 8? Can we even vote? Is that a votable
No.
part in the agenda?
I don't think it's invalid if you moved it. So I would agree with Mr. Kennedy on that. But I was just asked why was it under new business, and it's because it is a matter of new business.
Correct. Okay.
And if I may expand it, I think that's why it was moved to new businesses, because we did make it a board action, not a consent, but an actual board vote from last April when we went through that.
Yeah, no, I remember those conversations. So if I'm understanding, no, just real quick. So if I'm understanding right, when we get to this item under new business, we will actually hold a vote, and then if that vote passes, then we'll read the proclamation? Am I understanding that correct?
Yes,
Correct.
Okay.
So
it is a voting action.
Madam Chair, if I may, hearing that the new policy has created some confusion on the agenda, at the next board workshop, we would like to discuss this policy and talk about improving it. So we have clarity next time exactly per policy where it belongs on the agenda.
Great.
If that pleases the board.
Thank you.
I don't see anyone else lit up, so the item will remain in the order that it was advertised. Okay, so I still need the vote to approve the agenda as published.
Disappeared. I'm a yes.
And I think we're just waiting for the system.
I saw it for a second.
There we go. It's okay. I have notes up here. Slow down.
Wrong one.
Oh, yeah, that's the wrong one.
Oh, I'm still a yes on that one.
No.
But it says on,
Okay,
this is the.
that motion failed. We need to,
No, this is the original. Oh. This is the original amended agenda. Yes. because we
Amended
had two
agenda,
amendments
okay.
the,
to the actual agenda.
Okay, I got it.
The one that failed was moving the Black History Month proclamation.
what I see on my screen is amend the agenda to move 14.2 to 8.2. That
yeah, that's
motion
what's
failed.
showing.
That's what's showing.
What's showing on the
That
screen is
failed, for lack
is
of a
his
second.
actual motion earlier.
So both motions that Mr. Kennedy made failed for lack of a second. Now we're to approving the agenda as published. So that vote needs to, yeah.
Yeah, because the one that's
That's
showing on
all
our
right. Take-
computers is not the same one that's showing on hers.
Right. It takes a little bit for her screen to see, for our screen to catch up.
Here we go.
There.
Yes, thank you.
That's the one we need. Very good. Thank you so much for that, and thank you to the gallery for the patience. And that passes 5-0. And now we have a motion to approve the minutes. Hope all you board members.
Madam
are
Chair,
able-
no
Yep.
minutes to approve on this agenda.
Not this one, okay. Move on to our student celebrations, and we do have an addition to one of those when we get there. The first one is the celebration of Rogers Garden, Bullock Elementary. So,
Thank you, Madam Chair.
yep,
Mr. Chapman, Mrs. Carson.
we are ready for you?
They had to wait outside. We're so full.
Yep, where you're up. That's quite all right.
Sorry, the hallway is definitely a little less.
Little echoes out there. Welcome.
You notice I mean business when I put my glasses, you know, that's when,
There
you know, I'm gonna spell things correctly.
Do we get puns in this announcement?
Always.
Do we get puns today? Actually, today I'm minimizing the puns because there's such an opportunity for other individuals to share about the legacy in our community and to share about students. So I'm a little light on the puns, but the words speak for themselves. So first up is to talk about an amazing legacy in our community, Rogers Garden Bullock. And to kick that off is going to be the principal, Michael Escorcia.
Yeah.
Gosh. I practice, I promise. And he is going to share with us a beautiful video that his school created.
You were so good before. She practiced really good.
Welcome.
Good morning, good afternoon, sorry. I'm Michael Scorsia, the principal of Rogers. I have the honor to be the principal of Rogers Garden Bullock Elementary for my 4th year. Rogers is a very special school that has a great heart foundation. Our students are loving from day one. I just fell in love with our school and our students, and the special school that it is in the heart of downtown. We're like your backyard. We're right there. We're like, I could walk to Rogers. But we're here to celebrate why Rogers was named Rogers Garden Bullock. And from day one, their family has taken me in. Miss Jolanda Brewer came the first day when I did an open house to introduce myself. And from there, she's been my support and my helper, and just the whole family. Just they know how much I love Rogers and what Rogers means to our school community. I'm here to present the video so everyone could see our amazing. The kids were so excited, so I told my TV guy, I said, hey, why don't we do something really exciting for the kids so that they can learn about Mr. Rogers. And so they put this amazing video together. It's a little newscast that they put together. Thank you.
My name is Uriah, and today we have Jaden. Every name tells a story. Some names belong to famous leaders, others belong to people who directly change lives in your community. In 2008, the Manatee County School District designated a new elementary school as G.D. Rogers Garden Bullock Elementary. And every morning, students like me walk into a school named after a very important man. That man is called Garfield DeVoe Rogers. But who was he? Mr. Rogers was born in 1885 in Georgia. In the early 1900s, he relocated to Florida. Throughout Rogers' life, he achieved numerous milestones, such as creating a life insurance agency for African Americans, establishing Lincoln Academy the first public school for the African American children in Manatee County. Mr. Rogers was a man who believed deeply in education, fairness, and opportunity. At a time when many African Americans faced unfair treatment and limited opportunities, Mr. Rogers worked so hard to improve life not for himself, but for the whole community. A student who's been here since kindergarten like me would love to share his thoughts.
My name is Richard Bain. I am a 5th grade student in the school of G.D. Rogers. Today, I will be giving a speech on Garfield DeVoe Rogers. Garfield DeVoe Rogers was a man who believed in the power of education and the importance of giving opportunities to others. His legacy lives on in the halls of Rogers Garden Elementary School, where I've spent my whole journey since kindergarten. From the very beginning, I've grown up here, made countless friends, and shared experiences that shape who I am today. Walking through these halls, I feel connected not only to my classmates, but also to the vision Rogers had for students like me, to learn, to grow, and to carry forward the values of perseverance and community. For me, Rogers Garden Elementary School isn't just where I studied. It's where I built a family and friends and memories that I'll carry forever. Thank you.
Mr. Rogers achieved so much that it would be impossible to list all his accomplishments. After his death in 1951, Rogers' impact did not end. Communities honored him by naming parks like a golf course he helped fund in Tampa, now called Rogers Park, apartment buildings, built in 1953, known as Rogers Project. And of course, a school built in 2008 where we are now. Rogers' passion for education followed through to his children, especially his oldest daughter, Louise R. Johnson. Both families' members will always be remembered, honored in Manatee County with G.D. Rogers Garden Bullock Elementary and Louise R. Johnson K-8 School of International Studies named after. We all want to thank Mr. Rogers for his courage, leadership, and dedication to his community. His legacy lives on in every classroom, every lesson, and every student who walks in the halls of G.D. Rogers Elementary. Mr. Rogers will always be honored. He may be gone, but he will never be forgotten. Bye! Let's go, bye!
You're dancing in the sky. I hope you're singing in the angels' choir. And I hope the angels know what they have. I bet it's so nice up in heaven since you arrived.
You know, I know, it gets me a little choked up. Being a part of this community, when you think about just the name, known around the world is obviously Mr. Rogers, but I'm just so thankful, and we are so truly lucky to have Dr. Rogers as one of our individuals. And to talk more about the legacy and the family members that could be with us tonight is our one and only Mr. Omar Edwards.
Yes, Mr. Edwards.
It's truly an honor to recognize G.D. Rogers during our Black History Month program. And tradition in the school district of Manatee County has been that we do this every year in February. So what an honor to honor one of the legacies that we truly have. We're fortunate today to really have the family here who really showed up for him today. And to do the honor is the great-great-granddaughter of G.D. Rogers, Michelle Crockett, and she'll come down and introduce the family at this time.
Good afternoon. I'm going to ask my family to stand up. My name is Michelle Crockett. I'm the great-granddaughter. We have a granddaughter here. That's Cassidy over there. We're 7 generations deep in this county. Wow. And again, as the video said, the kids in the video, our grandfather accomplished numerous feats. So many things it would take us weeks to discover. The things that he did in the time in which he was born. The fact that he walked from Thomaston, Georgia, coming to Bradenton, Florida, and I think about the dangers that could have obviously prevailed. However, he persevered. And because he did, we exist today. Mm-hmm. So it's such an honor to herald his legacy. We don't take it lightly. It's ever before us as family members, every time we have the opportunity to share. I think about my grandmother who sat in the very place where you're sitting today as a board member and chairman of the board. I'm overwhelmed with just gratitude. So thank you for taking this time to honor our grandfather.
Mm-hmm. So honored.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I do want to mention he has two living children.
Okay.
My grandfather has a daughter, Dr. Eleanor Gibbons, who's 108. She turned 108.
Wow.
February the 18th. And Cassidy's mother, Mary Bruce.
September 9th.
Oh, my
So he has two living children.
If we're able, yeah.
I'm Cassidy Brewer. I was a 911 police dispatcher for Bradenton Police Department, 26 years. Just retired. Thank you, Jesus. But that's not
Thank
why
you.
I'm here. My Aunt Eleanor and her husband, Uncle Gitz, were inducted into the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest married couple living in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So, like I said, I'm so proud of my family.
Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
I would like to, if your family is able to come in front of the dais so we could get a picture.
Okay.
If you're able to come up, we would love to have a photo of the family with the board members and principal. Ms. Scorsia,
Yes, of course.
did I say it right?
Yes, you did. You've had a lot of practice, though.
I had a lot.
You're gonna be able to stand, okay? Let's see.
Yes.
Stand by my Yolanda. I'm gonna stand by my Yolanda.
It's Yolanda.
Yolanda, don't do it with her. My mom's making some empanadas.
You sure? You sure? Y'all need to get in front of me, because I'm nice. I'm kind of tall. Yeah, we got short people, too.
Yes, sir. Oh, I had already skipped that. That's a distance. Yeah, I would have had to.
1, 2, 3.
Danielle, or out of the way. That'd get ugly. For that episode, that sounds right.
I love it. And on a side note, I am scheduled to go to that school, I think, this week. It's on my calendar somewhere. Yeah. So I will be seeing the students there, and I think I recognize the oldest student in that video from the Christmas program. Okay. And I believe Ms. Carson has another one that she'd like to mention.
I do. You know, thinking along the same lines, we were so lucky. I'm sure you see a lot of students in our audience today. We have students from Gene Witt Elementary School. Also in the audience, we have Ms. Hoy, the art teacher. This class is actually, the art class it's world renowned. They have an art exhibit that's being featured in the Embracing Our Differences exhibition that's currently featured on the Bayfront at Sarasota. So if you have time, maybe when it warms up just a little bit, to make it out there, or it's available online. And their piece, which is titled All, began when students creating self-portraits that highlight their individual differences, and then those portraits were then brought together into a mural and connected by hearts to showcase the importance of not only loving what makes us each unique, but also valuing one another. And then this artwork, when you think about it, really does reflect our commitment in our school district in Manatee County to create a learning environment where every student feels valued, cared for, and encouraged on their pathway to success. So at this time, I invite Ms. Hoy, if she'd like to come up and share the names of the students that are here with us this evening.
Awesome.
Well, thank you. We have a number of kids with us tonight that were featured artists in the Embracing Our Differences piece that we created. So I'd want to go ahead and have them come up and maybe let them talk into the microphone and introduce themselves.
Awesome.
If you were an artist,
Come on down, kids.
Yeah. Great part. Great part.
This is great. This is so cute.
Real quick, while you're all lining up, I'm Mrs. Felton. I'm your school board member. And I was with Mr. Chapman, I was at the opening for the Embracing Our Differences. And when I went around the corner and looked up and saw this beautiful mural and saw that it was one of our schools, I was so excited. I took a picture. I sent it to your principal. I sent it to our superintendent. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so neat. I was so proud of you all to be able to see that up there. So that totally made my day. So I just wanted to let you know that that was just an incredible thing, because there are artists from around the world that contribute to this thing. Like 50,000 students from around the world contribute, and our kids got to be up there. So that was just really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So if you'd like to come up, you can say your name. All right, you want to tell me your name? And I'll
You can bend the microphone down to them.
All right. This is Leroy or Levi? Levi. This is my friend Levi, and he is an amazing artist that was featured. Levi, if you'd like to go stand and come around, and we're going to take a group photo. Would you like to share your name?
My name is Emerson.
Emerson, congratulations. If you'd like to come around.
Yeah.
Okay.
My name is Camden.
Camden, thank you.
My name is Haley.
What was your name?
Haley.
Haley, thank you, Haley.
My name is Manny.
Manny, pleasure to meet you.
My name is Everett.
Everett, thank you so much.
My name is Addie.
Addie, thank you.
My name is Sydney.
Sydney, okay, thank you.
My name is Kirsten.
Kristen, okay.
My name is Michaela.
Michaela, thank you.
Eloise.
Eloise.
Layton.
Layton, thank you.
Awesome. Great. So if we could get a board photo.
I thought you guys were going to be louder into the microphone.
I know.
They're artists,
you know, they're
One more chance on the way out.
Say cheese. All right, at this time, I'd like to ask if there are family members. If you want to get a better spot.
Everybody, come on down.
Come on, fill in with your kids. Come on. I know you're all taking pictures, but come get in the picture anyway.
Come on down, family. You can
Also be in the photo, and I'll
Come be in the picture.
take a photo. Yeah? Oh, shy. If you'd like to, take a photo.
to get in.
Come on, parents, don't be shy.
Yeah.
We have to do this all the time. Come on down.
I just took the photo. Oh, love it. Can you get through? Yes, fantastic. All right, look right here. All right, that's a big group. 1, 2, 3, cheese. 1, 2, 3, say cheese. 1, 2, 3. Yes. All right, thank you guys so much.
Somebody say,
Need a minute as everyone clears out. Thank you. That's awesome.
You're having trouble pulling together the James Farm Company.
What's the problem?
Price. Meal. Much higher.
I want to say hello to
John.
Kennedy.
And John.
Good night.
And then Several entitled counties,
Yeah. Oh, my God.
then theirs are all fully entitled. Jones doesn't have full entitlements.
I sure miss seeing you at NAACP meetings and everything.
Penalties, well, get them together.
Well, I need to get around more, I guess.
Pull it together.
I haven't been Uber driving in a long time.
I know.
But you left
Jones
before
also
that.
doesn't want to, but I think it's Mark.
Yeah, I'm with,
Lease, he wants to lease it back.
Westminster. Yeah, at, Courtyard.
How long do you want to
We're not on recess.
Yeah, no, we are not. That's quite all right. There was a lot of family members and children and students that were clearing the gallery, so we're all good.
On an Uber trip.
We always appreciate all of the student celebrations that are brought forth. And thank you for putting that together. And you do a lot of work on corralling everything and getting things in place. So thank you for that so much. It's all right. It's all right.
Thank you, Mrs. Carson.
Mhm. And that takes us to item 9 on our agenda, which is public comment. And we do have 4 individuals signed up for public comment. The first is Jason M. Troop. Second will be Ms. Warthen. Third will be Martha Jacobs. And fourth will be Pat Simmons. Welcome.
Thank you. We appreciate being here today.
If you could talk clearly.
I will do the best I can. It's been a long
Thank you
day of
so
middle
much.
school. Esteemed board members, we, the staff and faculty of Ardan Nolan Middle School, lost a very dear and integral member of our original faculty last year. Scott Jeffers and his widow Delina were both members of our opening faculty, bringing their kindness, impressive moral example, and shared joy of teaching to our site. During his years at Nolan, Scott began as an 8th grade math teacher, became our grade book manager once focus became ubiquitous, and eventually stepped outside the classroom to become a school support specialist. In this role, he was able to impact not only our students but our staff as well. His unique kindness, gentle example, and loving support for all inspired every person with whom he worked daily. If you ever needed a moment of humor, a pat on the back, or just an understanding smile, Scott was there for you. With the students, Scott was not only a daily example of kindness, but shared a firm expectation of the best from every student. Every student knew they could go to Mr. Jeffers and he would listen, support, and assist any way he could. But he would not enable poor choices or allow for excuses. He expected strong citizenship, moral choices, and work commensurate with ability. On a more personal level, I met Scott and Delina the summer before we opened Nolan together. He has been a friend, a mentor, a colleague, and more. I consider both of them among the finest people I've ever had the privilege to know. Nolan is a superlative site, being an A school since our opening. And with that honor comes the responsibility to decide what may equitably be done with the recognition funds we earn each year. I had the honor to co-chair this committee with Scott for most of these years. And without his gentle manner, firm convictions of what is right, and his tremendous work ethic, we could not have done the amazing work to equally share these funds among our entire staff, including those who have moved on to new sites or into retirement once the funds were available. Scott reminded us all that every member of our staff not only matters but contributes to our site and student success. He was the colleague, leader, and friend we all needed, and to whose example we wanted to aspire. A veteran of our armed forces, Scott served in the Army with honor and distinction for 20 years, retiring as a lieutenant colonel in 1997. In the months since his passing, he has been laid to rest among the honored veterans in Arlington National Cemetery, a fitting tribute to such a man to have his final place of rest be on hollow ground. On our part, to honor his memory, we would like to install a plaque in our cafetorium and name the cafe the Jeffers Dining Hall. As Scott was a decorated veteran, we plan to place the plaque nearest the flag and a patriotic display in remembrance of 9/11. This will be funded through our faculty and staff, our PTO, and our community. If possible, our own students will also create the lettering and signage for the cafetorium entrances. We are asking the board to not only approve this, but to waive the waiting period so that we may honor his memory among students and staff whom he served, supported, and loved, and who loved him in return. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you so much. Ms. Warthen? And I forgot to say that you do have a 3-minute clock. It's above you. But
Jason, you're perfect.
you were right. You were
Well
right
done.
there on the time, so you're good.
Right under the wire.
Ms. Warthen is not. Yeah, come on down.
Hi, I have a question first, or maybe a couple. Is this an interactive 3 minutes or no?
No.
Okay. And when will I find out about my questions, the answers to my questions?
As soon as possible.
This is, right, this is more your time to speak about
Right.
concerns. If you have questions, I would say you would need to contact the district directly, not the, or reach out to the board. And any materials that you have, you need to go to the agency clerk first.
Okay.
And then, because they have to be reviewed before they.
I submitted them online.
Okay? No? Right.
Yes, I emailed them to the address you guys have.
It's okay, we'll figure it out. It's fine.
Okay. You're down to 2 minutes now, so you better start talking.
Oh, I didn't know my time was ticking. Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
could we please give her the full
Yeah,
3?
yeah.
Yeah.
You can reset the clock, Ms. Cox.
I probably
you
won't
go.
need it, but thank you. I
There you go.
appreciate it. I'm here today and representing Education First High School Exchange Year. We are a J1 visa program, and we have been experiencing some difficulties in placing our students in Manatee County. And it seems to be that there's some convolution with the wording. The wording does state that J1 programs can place within Manatee County, providing the rules and regulations governed by the U.S. State Department. However, the schools are not allowing us to place, citing that that the schools need to be SEVP certified, and that is something that applies to F1 visas. So I am making a request to revamp the wording on that so that it has clarity and people, so that we can place students within the county. I have currently 6 active host families and at various schools who would like to host with us. I have 3 pending applications right now that they cannot host next year because of the confusion surrounding the wording. So in my brochures, I have provided, they state differences between J1 and F1 visas. It's on page 9. And if you could take a look at that and understand where I'm coming from for that item, we would really appreciate it. We really love to interact with our schools, and we really have a good program. And we work directly with the Department of State. EF has been around for 60 years, and it's a very good program. I just want to highlight a couple of those things, those differences between F1 and J1. J1, we're heavily regulated by the Department of State. F1 works with the Department of Homeland Security. J1 EF sponsors the Department of State 2019 form. That's what they come over, that is with their visa. And we screen our host families. And with F1, the school has to sponsor the student and pays the fees and completes all the paperwork, and the I-20 is the form that goes along with that. We work with accredited schools only. The F1 can be non-accredited schools. They have to be certified with the SEVP, and there are fees involved with that. Also, EF is responsible legally and through the J1, whereas the schools are for F1. That's
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mhm. And Pat Simmons. Pat Simmons. I'm sorry.
Good evening. Pat Simmons, Manatee County. First, I want to say that I never thought my voice disorder and tremors would lead me to community activism, but here I am. I'm fighting for inclusion for access. And most importantly, a paradigm shift. Anyone at any point in their lives can become disabled. And I have a sticker project that I'm trying to get on as many doors as possible. And all you have to do is to make a pledge that you will make a simple fix. Not asking for $1 million renovation, just a simple fix. Get creative, because that's what teachers do. And if you want the sticker, I'll give it to you. You can post it on your front door. And it lets people know, people with disabilities know that they're welcome, they're included, and that they are heard. I also have a calendar of my very favorite commissioner that I just found out that just passed away, called it my strategic plan. And I said, okay, I'll go with that. So you'll be hearing more from me, because I want to involve you in both a reverse town hall where people with disabilities, parents, teachers can come and address you and ask, make their voices heard. And also we want to hear from you all too on how special ed is going in Manatee County, because I don't hear very often, if at all, about special ed classes or the teachers or the parents. So we need to become more visible, and that's what stickers are. So thank you for your attention. I just want to say one more thing. People out there, make the ask. I did. So if you want to know how you can make your voices heard, how you can get access and inclusion, make the ask.
Thank you, Ms. Simmons.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Salt.
And that concludes public comments, unless we have anyone. I think we're done. Thank you all
Yeah,
for that.
Madam Chair, I think we have one, I think there was one more name. Yeah,
I don't have it.
yeah. You said Ms. Jacobs' name at the beginning. I
Martha
believe.
Jacobs,
Yeah.
Pat Simmons. Okay, I called her. She didn't hear me. Come on down. It's all right. It's okay.
Honestly, I don't hear the mics.
Yeah, the mic.
Yeah, it's
is not
hard for
good.
us.
I don't hear our mics.
I'm really having a
Yeah.
difficult time hearing you.
Oh, Harry, I'm so
Mike,
sorry.
Which
I'm talking louder than I normally do, too.
I could hear it. I could hear it well out in the hallway before I came
Yeah.
in.
But not in
Just
here.
not here.
Oh, okay.
Just,
I don't
just to let you know.
We'll get technology on
And
that.
I know, can't win for losing, can you?
It's all right. Okay.
Good evening, Chair Spray.
Good
Board
evening.
Members, Dr. Breslin.
Welcome.
My name is Martha Jacobs. I'm a Manatee County resident, and I'm here this evening speaking on behalf of the League of Women Voters, Manatee County Education Action Team, to what is now again agenda item 14.2. So the League of Women Voters, Manatee County does support board proclamations. We believe the positive impact of proclamations is multifold, and their reach goes beyond their reading at meetings. They are a way to inform Manatee County citizens of happenings in the district and engage them. Firstly, this board can and should be proud of the district's accomplishments in various areas, including professional development and achievement, as well as successes in academics, arts, and sports. Proclamations acknowledging Principals Month and Career and Technical Education Month, for example, recognize the dedication and countless hours of work put in by staff, faculty, and students, and show the board's appreciation for these efforts in a more formalized manner than a shout-out from the dais. Secondly, board proclamations can advance district policies and promote community engagement. For example, they can create momentum for policies that support students, such as protections against bullying and harassment. They can also involve all citizens and taxpayers, including those who do not have children in the school system, by encouraging community participation in school activities such as Red Ribbon Week and Farm City Week. Thirdly, proclamations from this board can raise awareness and support a sense of belonging among faculty, staff, and students, thereby creating the optimal environment for learning. Proclamations like Holocaust History Week and Black History Month acknowledge important aspects of history, breaking down barriers caused by lack of knowledge. Other kinds of proclamations can bring the public's attention to the existence and needs of groups, such as students and employees with disabilities. In each of these cases, proclamations inform the public about past and current topics relevant to Manatee County schools, which is fully in keeping with the district purpose, education. The League is resolutely opposed to a requirement of unanimity, to approve proclamations. Such a requirement would be a stark outlier in practices of a representative democracy. In no other cause at the local, state, or federal level is unanimity required, not even for a declaration of war. One person should not have the power to stop a proclamation. Likewise, a requirement for a supermajority would be overkill, as this is generally reserved for consequential actions such as veto overrides at the state and federal level. Regarding discussions of proclamations, the League would like to remind members that as their constituents, we deserve to hear why our elected representatives agree or disagree with topics, especially ones deemed potentially sensitive.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. You do as well. And now that ends public comment. Thank you for getting that. We are to item number 11, consent items on the agenda. Superintendent?
Actually, number 10 first.
Did you pass 10? Oh, sure did. I'm so sorry. It's at the bottom of the page. So sorry. We have now the World Language Adoption Committee, Mr. Jensen.
Absolutely.
It's so far down on the page, I couldn't even see it. It's like way down. Sorry about that, Mr. Jensen.
Oh, no worries. Thank you very
I don't
much.
want to ever not recognize you there.
Good evening, Chair Spray, board members, Superintendent Breslin. I have with me Erin Chapman, who's our coordinator of instructional projects, to kind of go over the process and outcomes from our instructional materials adoption recommendations for this school year. As you know, earlier in the year, you approved a board item to initiate an instructional materials adoption process for world languages, consistent with consistent with the state adoption timeline. And so the curriculum team, including Tiffany Spradling and Erin Chapman, convened those committees and went through the process, which you'll hear about soon, all of which is governed by Florida law and the School Board Policy 2520. When we talk about grades 6 through 12 world languages adoptions, we're really talking about middle school and high school courses that are offered in Spanish and French. And in this school year, we have more than 3,700 students enrolled in either a Spanish or a French course within the school district. And you know, these materials kind of come up on a 5-year timeline, and so adopting regularly really allows our students to have access to the latest digital and physical advancements in instruction so that they can be successful in their courses. And all of this, as you know, happens in a very regimented and rigorous way. And so this is that timeline you saw earlier in the year where that first bubble is where you approved that adoption plan at the earlier in the school year, and then we put it out to the public. We had community volunteers express their desire to participate. We went through all kinds of internal processes, and eventually that culminates with a recommendation to the school board, which you'll see on the agenda, on the consent agenda this evening. And I will leave it to Ms. Chapman to share kind of the process that the committees went through, as well as the recommendations with you now.
Awesome. Good evening.
Good
Ms. Spradling and I convened two committees, one for the Spanish textbook adoption, one for the French textbook adoption, that included teachers who are representative of our middle and high schools. They were nominated by their administration as representatives of those schools. We also had community members involved, as well as administrators from the schools that offer those language programs. So we had a lot of different voices. The conversations and inquiry on those committees was thorough and deep. We went over time on each day that our committees met because they were very invested in making sure that we got the best product for their instructional needs. We did have first video presentations from the publishers, followed up by in-person presentations from our two finalists for Spanish and our two finalists for French. That allowed those committee members to ask further questions, more pointed questions about the products that they would possibly be investing in. Those publisher materials were also available to you and to the public, as well as to other teachers in the district through physical copies and also access through the district website. It's important to note that all of the materials that we reviewed had been, or throughout our process, were approved by the FLDOE for adoption. We also had opportunities for the public to submit comment, which we did not receive any feedback on this particular adoption, but it was an option for the public to do so through our website. And we are looking to adopt for Spanish 1 through 4 and French 1 and 2 as the DOE has allowed in their adoption process. And just so that everyone is aware, the minutes for all of those committee meetings are posted on the district website for public review. So the Spanish committee selected the product from Carnegie Learning that's called Que Chévere. I had to work with our Spanish teachers to make sure I pronounced that correctly. The adoption does include student hardcover editions and student workbooks. There's nothing really new in the world of a textbook. It includes all kinds of vocabulary and grammar practice, extensive cultural understanding, which was something that was really important to both of our committees, that we're looking across different types of cultures that fall within Spanish-speaking countries. There's lots of opportunity for enrichment as well as remediation within these products. We have interactive digital text available, vocabulary videos, e-visuals that will help support student learning, different types of learning styles. Again, cultural study was something that was really important to our committees. The teachers also have lots of tools for tracking student progress through assessments as well as classwork and homework. And again, differentiation and accommodation are built into this program, and it integrates seamlessly with Schoology. For French, our teachers selected the product from CLET World Languages, which is called Reporters Francophones. This is a proficiency-based and standards-based program. This particular program is project-based, but again, really focuses on a variety of cultures. Each unit in the textbook introduces a student reporter
from a different French-speaking culture to introduce vocabulary and themes that are related to their particular culture. So it's very engaging for students. Again, we have hardcover textbooks and consumable workbooks as part of this program. Lots of videos for tutorial purposes for grammar and pronunciation. Audio files always include scripts. So again, we're meeting those different learning styles. Teachers have lots of opportunities to track student progress with interactive quizzes and assessment resources. And again, lots of differentiation and accommodation resources. Our world language programs involve all students. This is not just honors students, so we need to make sure that we can meet every student where they're at. And finally, again, this product integrates well with Schoology.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. So the next steps, as I mentioned, there's an item on the consent agenda to approve the committee's recommendations. If the board approves those recommendations, it begins a 30-day objection filing period, and you can see the dates on this slide. That's an open period by which community members can continue to review the materials, and if there's any concerns or objections to the adoption of those materials, they can submit that objection in writing to our instructional materials department. And then if we receive an objection to a material, then we would go through the objection process outlined in board policy, which involves a hearing. If that process is not needed, as soon as that objection period ends, we can then place an order so that we are in the school book depository and ready for our shipments towards the end of the year over summer. And so our teachers and students are ready to receive their materials for next school year. And with that, we've reached the end of our presentation.
Madam Chair?
Board members? I don't see anybody letting me go.
Oh,
That's all right.
My computer's asleep. I have two things real quick. And Mr. Jensen, if I could just take you back to the flow chart on page 4. And I didn't realize this, so I just wanted to bring a little attention to it. But on the top row, it says IT pre-screening process. So I think it's just what it sounds like. The textbook publisher, before they even get to the committee, their e-materials need to be compatible with the devices that we use.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. There's an extensive form that each publisher has to submit so that our IT department can look at, are these things compatible, not just with Schoology, but also with all of our privacy regulations and state statutes.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I didn't think of that. And then, Ms. Chapman, I had a specific question on the French slide, and something you said, which is not on the slide, but something you said. And it's project-based from culture to culture. Do the French materials get into different French dialects then? Is that, because that's what it, that would be really deep instruction if you're getting
Right,
to different dialects.
right. No, it's not so much about various dialects, but the fact that French is spoken not just in France. So throughout the textbook, they'll see students from various countries in Africa, in Haiti, in different places around the world, so that they're introduced to the idea that, again, that French doesn't just live in France, Spanish doesn't just live in Spain. Some introduction through the videos to the dialectical issues, but that's not the focus of the instruction.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like, wow, that would be incredible if we're doing dialects in high school.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Ms. Felton?
Hello. Thank you very much for your presentation. Something similar to what he just said, in that having taken Spanish for 4 or 5 years, and I grew up in San Diego, in Chula Vista, right on the border. So most people who have never taken Spanish or don't know anything about Spanish assume, particularly from this country, we either think Mexico or Spain. And we have so many people, even in our own community, from Spanish-speaking countries from all over. So I very much like the cultural study. One of the things that I remember learning is that pronunciations are not the same.
Right.
I had an Argentinian Spanish teacher who lisped with everything, which was, for all of us growing up next to Mexico, it was a big learning curve to learn how to understand her. But it really is great, that cultural study, and to understand that it's not just these two countries that speak this language, but it's being spoken in countries across the globe. And again, for the French as well. And also having been a teacher, I very much appreciate the integration with Schoology. This is one less thing to have to learn another program.
Yes.
So, but that was it. It sounds great. I'm glad our teachers get to help pick the curriculum because they're the ones that have to use it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. Tatum?
Just to respond to Mr. Am I on?
Yep.
Can you hear me now? Okay. To respond to Mr. Kennedy's question, having been a French teacher myself, I looked through some of the materials, and there is some, I think, benefit to like hearing Quebecois, for instance, and how French is spoken up there, and seeing some of the vocabulary differences. And I remember the first time I went to Quebec, thinking I was all good at my French, right? And I walk into a McDonald's, and the word in France for nuts is like peanuts is cacahuète, right? Like you put it on your little sundae at McDonald's. So I go in there and I ask for cacahuète in a McDonald's in Quebec, and the lady has no idea what I'm saying, right?
They call the police?
Well, yeah, they call it. You are, but the word in Quebec in Quebec, Quebecois, French in Quebec is arachide, right? Point being is that there is some utility in maybe hearing the language and the accent and a little bit of vocabulary that's different, just to let you know that hey, when you go to maybe Africa or Quebec or somebody else, some other place that's not France, you might be surprised at what you hear and be ready for it, and it shouldn't be strange to you. There's probably some validity in that, and the books, I think, do a good job to some degree of preparing students for that eventuality.
And
So.
that for a high school language set, that's kind of a level up for a high school language, French 2 or 3. I mean, maybe once you get to French 4, you're asked to identify dialects, but that's...
I don't know if they have to identify anything. It's just more of awareness. I don't know that
just to get your ear used to it kind of thing.
And let's let you know that it's out there. So when you walk into the McDonald's in Quebec and you think the word for peanuts is arachide or cacahuète, and you use it, and they look at you like, I don't know what you're saying. Oh yeah, maybe there's another word, something like that. So that's all I have to say. Thanks.
Interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you for putting this together. We knew it was coming, and it is on our consent item number 3, so I think we'll be all right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for coming down.
Chapman. Thank you, Mr. Jensen.
Yep.
Thank you.
And thank you to all the teachers that took the time to.
Everyone.
That's huge, yeah.
Yep.
And the citizens that participate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
We always welcome input from the community on all of our curriculum adoption.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
it takes a lot of time.
It sure
A
does.
lot of people don't realize it. It's actually a commitment when you serve on any of those committees for the district. So we're always appreciative of everyone that does that. Now, we can go to item 11, consent.
Thank you,
Superintendent?
Madam Chair. The superintendent recommends approval of the consent agenda for the school board meeting, February 24, 2026.
So moved. Oh, second. As soon as I get signed on.
Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Choate and a second by
by-
Mr. Kennedy,
There we go.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and we are going to get our motions and vote, and that passes 5-0. Thank you for that. All right, now to item number, it says 11 down here too, so something isn't correct there. So it's probably item 12, new business discussion consent by superintendent. Anything that was pulled, and there was nothing that was pulled. New business non-consent. Ms. Sellers for the budget amendments, item number 12.
Yes,
Point
ma'am.
one.
The superintendent recommends approval of the budget amendments for December 2025. And we have Mrs. Sellers present to elaborate.
Walk us through it.
So,
Alrighty.
sorry. I was going to give you a
think-
motion in a second for
The December budget amendments, there were 456. This was composed of over 1,500 chart strings. 10 of those chart strings were over $1 million, all in the capital fund, and these were related to the Barbara Harvey K-8 addition and the SS renovation and the new high school AAA, basically moving something from a construction to a design project, funding from like the local capital improvement, et cetera, like those.
Okay.
Thank you.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Kennedy, second by Mr. Cho. Any other discussion?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I just have one comment.
Sure.
Well, a question and then kind of just some clarification for the public. But Ms. Sellers, since our board briefings last week to prepare for this meeting, there haven't been any changes to what you shared with us last week, to the
For the-
budget amendments?
No, there have not.
I assume there was not, but I only say this so the public understands that, this may, to the outside viewer, feel like, oh, this is pretty important stuff that's just going by pretty quickly. And I know this gets said from time to time, but I'd like to remind folks that the board members do get fully briefed on these budget amendments. And so this is not the first time we're hearing them.
Right.
And so that's why I just wanted to clarify and set the table here. So thank you.
And I can confirm that I go through the budget amendments, and that was my biggest thing when I had my briefing. As she well knows, I make a lot of notes, so. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. And that will pass 5-0. Okay. We are on to 11.2. Approval of advertising and notice of intent to amend school board policies and setting public hearing at the school board meeting scheduled for April 7th, 2026.
So moved.
We have a motion
I'll second.
and a second by Ms. Felton. And that will be, any comment from the superintendent or Mr. Chapman on any of the policies?
Yes, ma'am. So the apologies, as listed, and Mr. Chapman is here as well, but really, this is just to advertise the policies that we will be discussing at an upcoming board workshop in great detail. So the public and the board has time to review and offer feedback, and then set to be approved at a later school board meeting.
Very well.
Can you see my request?
I can. I see you now. Yep.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead, Mr. Choate.
I just want to make sure that on this board or on this item, I don't know if it was updated or not. I know in my briefing I asked for it to be, so before we put it out there and we vote on this, is the 0149.1 policy on proclamations, is that on here to be discussed as well?
It is not, Board Member Choate,
Okay.
but it will be discussed at the March 31st Board Workshop.
Perfect.
You all, if so inclined, can make edits to it, and then we'll advertise that policy.
Gotcha.
On the April April 7th board meeting for then to have, and then we'll have it out for public comment. There's a few other policies that some other board members would like to perhaps look at and discuss at the workshop.
Okay.
So there's a few others that we can package together at
Perfect.
April 7th. So that's kind of the timeline.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? I don't see anybody else lit up. Okay. If everyone will vote on that. And that again is for advertising the policies. And we're missing Mr. Charlie.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thought I had.
Your system
There
sleep?
we go. Sorry about
Wake
that.
him up. All right. And that passes 5-0. I know I gave my packet to Mr. Chapman today of notes. Okay, new business. And this is no superintendent recommendation, and this is approval of school board members ready to travel to Washington, D.C. with a Greater Florida Consortium of School Boards, March 16th through 18th, not to exceed $2,300. And again, that's for me to go with the consortium from the committee that I served in for the federal legislative platform that we created. It was a very interesting committee to serve on, and now we're taking our platform to D.C.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, I don't see any speakers. I appreciate that.
Have fun.
Yeah,
Stay warm.
yeah. I've kept the gloves out.
Make sure you take the gang to Ben's Chili Bowl up on U Street, 14th and U Street.
Oh, okay.
Unforgettable experience.
Okay. And that passes 5-0. Thank you, board, for that item. And now we are under 13.2, Black History Month proclamation. And that requires a motion in a second. This is the one that we are going to vote on, and I did pull up that policy so I can look at it if we have questions on it.
So moved.
Did you hit it? I'll second when my. Did you hit your button? There we go.
There it goes.
Okay.
It's getting there.
So we have a motion by Heather Felton, a second by Mr. Kennedy.
Yes.
And I have two speakers. First being Ms. Felton.
Okay, so I requested the proclamation. I apologize to people who were hoping to have it at the beginning of the month. We do have the month in advance that you have to request it, and we got back from winter break a little further into January than I had thought about it in advance. I should have requested in December, but here we are anyway. So I requested the Black History Month proclamation. It is similarly worded to the one we had last year. A couple of things that I'd like to point out. In requesting this proclamation, that it recognize the fact that the United States celebrates Black History Month. There's a, I'm gonna have to switch my glasses, sorry. Cannot read without my reading glasses. Oh, there we go. That the United States Congress passed Public Law 99-244 in 1986 to recognize Black History Month, and that Florida Statute 1003.422F recognizes that we will also teach about Black History Month as well across the state. So being the person that I am, I went and looked up those two resolutions. So the joint resolution passed by the 99th Congress in February 11th of 1986 states, whereas the observance of Black Afro-American History Month provides opportunities for our nation's public schools, institutions of higher learning, and the public to gain a deeper understanding and knowledge of the many contributions of Black Americans to our country and the world, and that the month of February is designated as National Black or Afro-American History Month, and that the President of the United States is authorized and requested to issue a proclamation calling upon the people of the United States to observe that month with appropriate ceremonies and activities to salute all that Black Americans have done to build our country. And then the second one from the Florida statutes states that members of the instructional staff of public schools, subject to the rules of the State Board of Education and the District School Board, shall teach efficiently and faithfully using the books and materials required that meet the highest standards of professionalism and historical accuracy, following the prescribed courses of study and employment-approved methods of instruction the following. So as you go down a Declaration, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, et cetera, history of the Holocaust, which of course we do observe, Holocaust Education Week, and then number 2H, the history of African Americans, including the history of African peoples before the political conflicts that led to the development of slavery, the passage to America, the enslavement experience, abolition, and contributions of African Americans to society. And instructional material shall include the contributions of African Americans to American society. So as we do all of those things here in Manatee County, and I can switch my glasses back so you're not all blurry. There we go. As we do all those things in Manatee County, and as it is recognized by Congress that we recognize Black History Month as a country, I feel that it is necessary to make a point to do so in Manatee County. I talked about this last year, that it is important to me that having the history that we have here in this county, and as we had our presentation earlier this meeting, talking about Rogers Garden Elementary School, and in addition to Louise R. Johnson, who we also mentioned, my kids went to Louise R. Johnson Middle School when it was just a middle school. And the contributions that people have made in this county, that I feel that it's important that we then recognize Black History Month in a special proclamation to make a point of it. There's so many things that we do recognize just from the dais, but this one in particular I feel is very important. I'll be making a similar request for Hispanic Heritage Month as well, for similar reasons. And so that is why I requested this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Felton. Mr. Tatum.
Well, thank you for the floor. Ms. Cox, do you have a PowerPoint presentation I'd like to show if I could real quick, please? So I have a proposition for us to make, and I agree with you that it's important to acknowledge the history of the county. And my proposition for us, and I appreciate you indulging me, is that we make February American History Month and not Black History Month. And my thesis, if you see it on the bottom there, is because current and Black American leaders have urged Americans to not look at each other through a race-based lens. So since we're talking about history, let's go through a little bit of history, if we could, please. Next slide, please, Ms. Cox. So Frederick Douglass, if we remember this great American, he was a former slave, and he made a speech in 1865, right about the time that the Civil War ended. And this is a quote from him I'd like to share with you. It says, "All I ask is give him," those are the people that have been freed from slavery, "a chance to stand on his own legs. Let him alone. If you see him on his way to school, let him alone. Don't disturb him. If you see him going to the dinner table at a hotel, let him go. If you see him going to the ballot box, let him alone. Don't disturb him. If you see him going into a workshop, just let him alone. Your interference is doing him positive injury. Do nothing with us. Your doing with us has already played the mischief with us." What he's saying here is look, now that we have our freedom, just don't treat us differently than anybody else. Let us go about the things that we want to do and let us get on with our life. He's asking for no special treatment, not pointing out people based on their color of their skin. And this is really an opportunity, if we think about it, to really live out Martin Luther King's dream, where we stop looking at people through the race lens and we start looking at people through content of their character and not how much melanin they have in their skin. Okay, next slide, please. Another great American, Booker T. Washington, a former slave, also first president of the Tuskegee Institute. In his biography, Up from Slavery in 1911, he said, "There is another class of colored people who make a business of keeping the troubles, the wrongs, and the hardships of the Negro race before the public. Having learned that they are able to make a living out of their troubles, they have grown into the settled habit of advertising their wrongs, partly because they want sympathy and partly because it pays. Some of these people do not want the colored people to lose their grievances because they do not want to lose their jobs." And again, what he's saying is that can we stop just bringing up the race thing and the race thing and the race thing over and over and over again? Let's just move on to it and try to start living together just as Americans without bringing the race thing in front of us continually on an annual basis here. So that was about 50 years after Frederick Douglass said what he had to say. The next slide, please. Then we have Martin Luther King, literally about 50 years later in 1863, and we all know this: "I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." And I submit to us that we can really honor Martin Luther King by having an American History Month and not doing these race-based events where we're looking at people based on the color of their skin and not on the content of their character. Next slide, please, Ms. Cox. Go ahead, another 50 years or so. Professor Glenn Lowry, PhD, from an economist at Brown University, who's been writing on and thinking about this issue for literally decades. In a podcast from 2023, he said, "I don't know if Black History Month should exist, and I know I'm going to take flack. Here's what I see. I'll be brief. I see identity politics. And whatever the original ideas were in starting the Black History Month, we can see that it's turned into something because race is such a divisive issue now." And that's what he's getting at, is that we should be moving away from these race-based type events and proclamations and just start living out Martin Luther King's dream of not looking through the race lens at each other. Next slide, please. Carol Swain, PhD, retired political science professor from Princeton, Duke, and Vanderbilt universities, on her Facebook page in 2025 during Black History Month said, Black history is part of American history. We should never have gone down this path of monthly celebrations of groups. It would be awesome if President Trump committed to American History Year events and individuals that help make us the envy of the world. She's asking for the same thing. Let's just have an American History Month where we can talk about all different kinds of history that have taken place in America, the good and the bad. Next slide, please, Ms. Cox. And this is a video from Morgan Freeman, and I'm just echoing his idea. So if we could play the video, that would be great, please. It should play on the clip.
Black History Month you find ridiculous. Why? You're going to relegate my history to a month? Oh, come on. What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No, well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman. You want to say, well, I know this white guy named Mike Wallace. You know what I'm saying?
We'll kind of let that speak for itself. And then my final slide here, in conclusion, is Black history is American history. And those are not my words. Those are Morgan Freeman's words and Carol Swain's words. Senior and well-educated and well-respected members of the black community who lived under slavery and or Jim Crow laws are telling us to not do Black History Month and to do American History Month. There's no danger of forgetting black history or even Hispanic history. As you mentioned, Ms. Felton, it's an integral part of the best standards, the history standards that have to be taught. So if we don't do race-based proclamations, there's no danger that we're going to forget about the good and the bad of American history. I think these race-based proclamations feed into race politics. And again, those are not my words. Those are Glenn Lowry's words. Next bullet, ending race-based proclamations will represent a giant leap forward towards MLK's dream of not looking at our fellow Americans through a race-based lens. If you remember Supreme Court Justice John Roberts, when he was asked, how do you stop discriminating in college admissions, he said it's really simple. You stop discriminating in college admissions. You just stop doing it. And if we want to live out Martin Luther King's dream, we should start looking at each other just on content of character and stop looking at each other through the race lens. If you're interested in considering it, because I can't share this with you in advance, but I do have an American History Proclamation ready to go. I believe that it would satisfy the lady from, I don't know if it satisfies you, ma'am, but I am going to just make the point that you talked about involving all the citizens of the county. An American History Proclamation would involve all the citizens of the county. When we do these things, we can talk about the Holocaust. We have President's Day, for instance, this month. We haven't talked about that. That would be, I think, important to talk about in February. We can include all kinds of history from all kinds of people within the community, and I think that's exactly what the lady from the League of Women Voters was talking about. So, as I said, we can do different types of history during American History Month, and that's Carol Swain's suggestion. And so I actually make a motion to amend the motion, and that we do American History Month. And again, I have a proclamation. We can wordsmith it if we want to, if you're interested. So I make a motion to amend that we not do Black History Month, and that we do American History Month, so that we can actually involve all the citizens and taxpayers in the county in honoring our history in the United States of America. Thank you for your time.
Okay. I'm going to look to the attorneys out, but there is a motion on the floor. So I'm going to give a moment for a second to see if that motion passes or not. And that motion fails. What I will say to you, Mr. Tatum, is if you have a proclamation that you want to present, I think that would be better served at a workshop instead of a live meeting where you would vote. I wouldn't be comfortable with trying to read a proclamation right now and try to vote that was not advertised. And this is not the proper platform to present a new proclamation in my, or modify a proclamation. Am I correct in that assumption, legal team?
Well, you're,
It doesn't follow policy.
can you hear me?
Not very well.
No.
Speak loud.
Madam Chair, you're correct that the agenda simply lists Black History Month proclamation. So your suggestion to discuss Board Member Tatum's suggestion at a workshop, I think, is well-founded as a way to proceed.
Okay. And I had Ms. Felton, Mr. Choate had his name, and then you popped in all of a sudden, so I don't know what happened there. So we'll go with Mr. Choate, and then to you.
I'll just go real quick.
Okay.
I mean, our board policy says 28 days prior to the meeting. This is why I think we need to go back and we talk about the legislative always having to go back and glitch bill. I think we got a glitch policy here. I think we got to go back and fix this, and fix how we do proclamations. I think it's ludicrous that we're having a debate on a day we're trying to do a proclamation. But our policy said 28 days. Like you said, theoretically, we probably should have put this in December and then had this the last meeting in January to debate this and then had the month to do it. So again, first time glitch in the policy, and that's why I think we need to change this, because presenting a proclamation today doesn't follow the policy, which we don't necessarily have to follow.
Right.
We can obviously not follow our policies if we choose to, but that's why I believe this policy needs to be fixed in general, and that's all.
Thank you. Ms. Felton?
I don't want to go back and forth on this all evening, so I just want to point out that the proclamation doesn't talk about the troubles portion that you had brought up from Booker T. Washington. It's not about politics, and it Black History Month looks at a culture that's part of our country. The same with Hispanic Heritage Month. It looks at a culture that's part of our country. We have so many amazing cultures across the whole country, but these are cultures that are very prominent here in Manatee County. So I'm not asking for Native American, history or things that would be something better suited for Arizona and California and the Midwest. But these are cultures that are very particular here, and to recognize the contributions from those cultures to Manatee County in particular is really my focus. Thank you.
I have a question for Mr. Dyer.
Mr. Tatum?
Yep.
You're up.
So, asking about modifying motions, don't we do that all the time? I mean, we can have something on the agenda, and then we change like for instance, how we handle employee actions and things like that. I don't understand your idea that, well, something was on the agenda, and so you actually have to vote what the item is on the agenda, and you can't make a motion to change it during a meeting. I mean, we do that all the time. That's why we have discussions. Sometimes we just pass it as is. Sometimes we make an amendment and we change the item that's on the agenda. So I don't understand your objection to a motion to amend what we're doing tonight, is to change the proclamation. Am I missing something there, or how would you respond to that?
No, I understand your comment, and I thought your presentation was very well done, by the way. I enjoyed watching it. My point was that the proclamation that's before you was, my understanding, distributed to the board members before the meeting and then placed on the agenda as an action item. You were offering an alternative to that I don't think the other board members had the benefit of viewing and
But they can't because of the sunshine law, so we have to do this and that's why I did it now, because there was no opportunity to show it to them before that. But
And then Chair Spray was suggesting that I think your amendment be discussed at a future board meeting, or your alternative proclamation. And I think they just want to have more time to view it. And then I believe Mr. Choate is suggesting at the same time looking at the process in general of doing proclamations, and maybe doing them in advance after the reorganization meeting each year, so that you don't have to view them piecemeal as you go through the year, and everybody agrees in advance to what the proclamations for the year will be. So that's how I interpreted the comments so far. But I do, you're correct that you can amend at any time a motion that's on the floor, or make a fresh motion at any time.
okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Correction to Mr. Dye's comments, I recommended workshop your proposal, not at a board meeting. That's the only correction I had with your comment. And I had
I must have misspoke.
That's all right. It's all
Okay.
right. I just wanted to make the record clear that I recommended more of a workshop type thing, which Mr. Choate had mentioned. And I think it's actually on our workshop list. It's policy 149.1, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
We, when we workshop the other policies that are listed, we are adding that policy and a couple others, not because they've entered the 30-day public hearing window, but because we'll have conversation, and then if the board agrees that they need to be amended, then we would then advertise for 30 days, et cetera, for the additional policies that we add that weren't on today's agenda.
Okay. I don't see anyone else. I'm going to just say this. I'm sorry.
I had shut my computer. That's why you don't
Oh,
see me.
okay.
But may I,
Sorry.
real quick?
Yep.
No, I think since I've been back a little over a year now, I think this is the 5th time, maybe 6th, we've talked about proclamations. I think we have beaten this topic to death already. I'm not sure why we keep coming back to it, but hopefully with this review of policy, we can finally get this right. And I would just ask Mr. Tatum, like this is Democratic presidents, Republican presidents, including President Trump, have asked the country to recognize Black History Month. So this should not require this debate. I think this is demeaning to our Black students and Black employees. I get the point that Black history is American history. I don't think anybody who was in your presentation said anything that was incorrect. But we could have another presentation of why Black History Month is important, and I would just, as long as we're having this debate, and then I'll be quiet. But, I don't think it's controversial to say that Black communities in the United States of America have been marginalized and have frequently been ignored in American history classrooms. And I think that, I don't know this, this is my theory, that Black History Month came out of a recognition that historically the teaching of American history had ignored the history of marginalized groups, Native Americans, Hispanics, Asians, all these different groups because of what I just said. Because history instruction had been geared toward mostly what is considered quote unquote white history. So I also, like I said, I hope we can just get this straightened out so that every time a board member wants to bring a proclamation, we don't have to spend a half an hour on this, because this is doing nothing to advance schools. It's doing nothing to advance our instruction or our school success. It's just, we're just having a debate about politics, which I didn't even think this was political anymore, because we've got from the White House, we have bipartisan agreement that we should celebrate Black History Month. So I hope this is our last one, and I guess that's the
Well,
last I'll say.
could I respond to that, please, since
up to the
you-
chair.
you did? Can I respond to that, please, Ms. Frank?
Oh, I have Mr. Choate lit up.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Sure, yeah, if he was informed, that's fine.
I'd like to call the question.
Okay.
You have a motion and a second, so I'd like to call the question to vote on this.
Fine.
Yeah, I'll second the motion to call the question.
Okay, we had a call to question by Mr. Choate and a second by Mr. Kennedy. All those in favor?
I don't know if I don't know if you want to, we have to vote on that question.
Right, you have to vote on that.
Correct.
Right, you have to vote on that.
Correct.
Yeah.
We're just doing a hand vote on call to question. I had one more comment, but I'll leave it since we have a,
All those in
Okay.
favor, right?
okay, call to question passes 4-1.
Fair enough.
Okay.
That's what I'm going along with the voting of the board and the
Should-
parliamentary
okay.
procedures, that's fine.
And now we have the vote on the floor to adopt the proclamation. If you could vote on that.
I'm a yes.
And that passes 4-1 with Mr. Tatum abstaining. So now that that proclamation is adopted, I will take the liberty to read it if anyone wants to do that. No, you're all right? Okay. Black History Month Proclamation, School District of Manatee County. Whereas the month of February is set aside each year by the United States Congress with the passage of Public Law 99-244 in 1986 to celebrate and remember the vital and significant contributions that Black Americans have made to American history and to the richness of the American culture. And whereas Black Americans have made important and vibrant contributions to the history and to the culture of the state of Florida and of Manatee County. And whereas Black educators have played a prominent role in the history of education in Manatee County, serving in every capacity from bus driver to teacher to principal to superintendent to schools, school board chair, and whereas, as required by Florida Statute 100.42, Item 2F, the educators of the School District of Manatee County will teach the history and vital contributions of Black Americans in helping to build and strengthen American society and celebrate their inspirational stories. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the School Board of Manatee County that the month of February 2026 shall be known, designated, and set aside as Black History Month in Manatee District Schools. Adopted with a quorum present and voting this 24th day of February 2026. And thank you, Board, for that. On to no additional public comments that I have seen. Mr. Tatum, you still have your little button on. Thank you for that. Information only, we had the year-to-date financial statements and the charter schools that's just information only that we got during our briefings. And now we are to item number 16, instructional update. Mr. Jensen.
Thank you very much. I'll keep my update brief because of the materials presentation. Just a quick WIDA testing update. We have completed 80% of our online WIDA access assessment testing as a district. WIDA is Florida's required assessment measuring English language proficiency, and it's actually our first year of online testing, and it's been an amazing effort by all of our schools and staff members transitioning to this new assessment and having it run so smoothly. So thank you to Deb Estes and our leadership across the district for coordinating this very important testing. The window is actually open for more than 2 more weeks, and we'll finish this assessment on time with more than 7,600 students tested across the district on this assessment. As far as school updates go, we have our high schools that have started the registration process for next year, and many have orientation events for incoming freshmen, including visits to middle schools as well as welcome nights. So be sure to check out these upcoming nights if you're an incoming freshman to high school. We also have national merit finalists at Braden River High, Manatee, and Palmetto High. Very exciting, and congratulations to those students. We have basketball playoffs continuing. Our Parish Community High School boys team continues in the postseason this Saturday in the regional finals at Sickles High School. And spring sports are in full swing, so check out our district athletic calendar, which our athletic directors in schools do an amazing job updating to cheer on your team. We also have games of the week on the website to enjoy sporting events on MSTV. In academic competitions, we have our VEX regional competition in Claremont this coming weekend. Elementary teams will compete on Saturday, middle school teams compete on Sunday. The number of Manatee County teams that qualified increased. We have 22 elementary teams and 7 middle school teams competing in regionals this weekend. So congratulations and best of luck to them. In additional academic competitions, because we're so prolific at it, our Skills USA state competition will be March 30th through April 2nd. We'll have more than 80 MTC students competing in Skills USA events at that. And finally, on Thursday, 2/26 at 6:30 p.m. at Braden River High School, we have our All-County Elementary Music Festival, which I'm looking forward to. So thank you very much, board members.
Thank you, Mr. Jensen. And operation update.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr.
Madam
Clerk.
Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, board members, Dr. Breslin. I'll start off with our HR recruiting and hiring update. We had a operations job fair last Thursday, February 19th. It was very successful. 91 attendees. We were able to hire 4 custodians, 15 food service workers, 2 nurses, and then 2 aides. So that's 23 people that we were to hire out of the 91. So very good showing there. The recruiting team will be at a number of events coming up. Career events and events around the county, SDMC Teacher Pair Virtual Job Fair, which is 2/24, February 24th. We have an alternative pathway to teaching certification informational meeting, 2/25, I think that's tomorrow night at Wakeland, and those have been well attended. We're gearing up for hiring season, which is right around the corner here the next couple months for us. So there also, I mentioned at the last meeting, we have a recruiting team going to Pennsylvania. Wish they were going this week, because if you've seen any of the news, I think everyone's trying to leave PA to come down here with all the cold fronts going on. It's pretty cool here too, though, but not nearly as cool as it is in Pennsylvania. So we have that team going there to recruit teachers, a number of schools in that area. So there's a nice concentration of potential teachers there. So we have a team going there, and that's March 10th. We have an in-person teacher and para job fair at MTC April 25th. And then we have our career fairs, high school career fairs that will be in attendance. Community events, Parish Heritage Festival and Chili Cook-In, and that'll be pretty spicy on March 7th. The Health and Wellness Expo will be recruiting there. That's April 7th. Lakewood Ranch has something. The Chamber of Commerce has their Spring Expo that's well attended, so we'll be active. Our team will be there recruiting staff, not just teachers, but staff. The HR team has revamped the career website, our district webpage, to include an updated look, new recruiting videos and graphics. The communication team was instrumental in helping put that together, so thanks to them. The wellness mobile app is coming out, right? We have our wellness program that our employees are involved in. Well, there's a mobile app that'll be coming on board here pretty soon. Employees will be able to monitor their wellness activities and preventative screenings on that app. They'll be able to use that to complete activities, which will allow them to redeem rewards at over 800 companies. They'll get like electronic gift cards. So just really focus in on our employees' health. That's physical, emotional, social, financial, occupational, and intellectual wellness. Those are the keys. Food and nutritional service update. Just recently, a couple weeks back, Seabreeze had a parents Valentine's Day luncheon, and Food and Nutrition Services kind of sponsored that. They shared the love at Seabreeze Elementary during this Valentine's Day lunch and love event. We had 170 parents that joined their students for lunch at the school. The menu, they had creamy Alfredo fettuccine, garlic bread sticks, broccoli, and then they got a little Valentine's Day cookie that was really sweet. Wish I was there. I'm getting hungry again. I'm getting hungry. I do it every time, right? I'm ready. But that was well attended, and it was really a neat event for our staff and students. So then maintenance and operations team really busy this summer. We have a couple major projects happening. Just wanted to keep you in mind of that. We have 4 comprehensive roof replacement jobs that'll be happening. That's Bayshore L Elementary, Gullet Elementary, McNeil Elementary, and Stewart. And those will take most of the summer, big projects for us. And then we got 4 painting projects, school-wide painting projects that'll be coming up. Well, 3, you got Miller Elementary, Palmview, Braden River High School, and then PSE will be getting painted as well. So those are some major projects we have going on with maintenance and operations. Thank you for
And that's not counting my wish list.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Legal?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Clark got us all hungry. I just want to emphasize, we had a productive meeting with Mr. Vingroff on the affordable housing project that's proposed. We have furnished him information on the subject property, title, survey, environmental studies, those kind of things. The structure that we've settled on is a long-term lease to the operating entity that he'll create, probably a 50-year duration, which is the useful life of the building. His lawyers are going to prepare the proposed lease and furnish it back to us to review and redline. That document will serve as the primary agreement between the board and the developer on the use of the property and ensure that the district employees get first priority to the use of those units and other provisions that the board wants put in that lease. So I just wanted to let you know that we made significant progress on that, and that'll be coming back to you once we have those documents. That's it for my report.
Mr. Penley?
I have nothing to add, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. Superintendent?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, board members. Board members, the past 2 weeks have been very busy. We have had multiple school visits and state of the school conversations with our campus leadership team as they are sharing their plans to finish strong with their students. Really proud of the work that our principals are doing. At the same time, we've had very detailed budget conversations and allocation planning to ensure that all of our resources are aligned with student needs and our long-term financial stability. And of course, operation meetings over the past 2 weeks, we've focused on transportation, staffing, and capital planning as we're preparing for the new school year. And I just want to take the time to point out Mr. Clark and Mr. Jensen and Mrs. Sellers, who have been phenomenal at providing me information needed to make the best decisions for the district. They bring so much knowledge to the table, and I'm appreciative of their leadership. And then I also want to take a moment to brag on Mr. Chapman. We started our strategic planning process for our new strategic plan, and he has taken the lead on that as he's done in the past, and we're very thankful for that. We had our first community meeting last week at MTC. Really good group of community leaders and parents and just a wide group of those who live in Manatee County coming together to talk about all the great things happening at our schools and what our next steps will be. It's been very productive, and I look forward to bringing additional updates to the board as we continue to get that information back. Also want to remind the public that we have surveys out for school start times and the naming of our new high school. Today, thank you, board members, every single one of you who took the time to come out to Manatee Elementary School to celebrate our community partnership school. Again, years in the making, but what a great model program that we have here at Manatee Elementary School, and it's definitely flourished under the leadership of Mrs. Gonzalez. Also, learning on that visit that USF is joining us in a partnership to take our 5th grade students to visit a college program at USF's campus, and how exciting that 5th grade students already get to see and dream big on their next steps. As Mr. Jensen mentioned, I will be at the Elementary Music Festival at Braden River this Thursday. It's one of my favorite events in celebrating arts with all of our younger students. And board members, if you have a chance tonight, if you leave the board meeting hungry, like Mr. Clark, Texas Roadhouse is helping us out with Blackburn Elementary tonight. 10% of all sales up till 10 p.m. will go back to the school. Also wanted to point out another field trip opportunity our students have. This is 10th grade students. We sent 32 10th grade students on a business and industry tour last week, including stops at Tropicana, Blake Hospital, and MTC. And I look forward in a future meeting that we have planned for an upcoming board meeting to bring a presentation where we focus on all the things that we're doing to prepare our students for college or career, including discussion on accelerated programming and then all of the career opportunities. Board members, thank you for your work tonight in approving the consent agenda. A couple items to highlight. Without a doubt, you approved the World Language Instructional Materials adoption. A lot of work and time goes into that to bring the best resources to our students. That's estimated to be a benefit to our classrooms at a cost of about $750,000, but a cost that will be a benefit for years to come. We also approved 2 items related to MTC, including dual enrollment articulation agreements and our post-secondary comprehensive education program. Safety and security, you saw a grant that you approved to continue the school hardening grants that we have started some years back. And then we also approved a Stronger Connections grant amendment that is additional money coming in to support instructional programming and learning for our teachers to support all students in learning. And so tonight with the consent agenda was an additional $370,254.92 in grant money coming into our district. We also approved the continuation of programming that we have going on with Game On Nation, the Level Up program. Board members, we're going to bring to you later this year our progress with the Level Up programming and how that's benefiting middle school students in 4 of our schools and teaching them skills related to soft skills, related to collaboration, teamwork, and really how to present yourself for future success of our students. We're hearing some great feedback from students in that program and administrators. I just spoke to the administrator principal at Lee Middle today, and she was saying how much Level Up has worked for her campus and for her students. So more to come on that in the future. And then, of course, some operational items related to the authorization to negotiate architectural services and drawings for Tillman Elementary School. So excited to see those. And then some surplus items as well. And board members, I just thank you for your time tonight. And again, how happy I was to see all of you today. I know you're all very busy, and the fact you all took the time to come to Manatee Elementary means a lot to our staff. So thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent. Okay, board comments. Have you lined up as Choate, Kennedy, Felton, Tatum, Spray? We'll go down the low.
I'll be brief. Thanks everybody for tonight's meeting. And Manatee L celebration for the Community Partnership School was awesome and well deserved. And I think I'd love to be able to see if we talked about this as we were there, if we could potentially track some of those students who have been involved in that Community Partnership School. Like how do they? We can get numbers now, and like what is it doing to our quote unquote testing now? Like what are those students do moving on in life, right? Would be really awesome to be able to keep that data and be able to go back and say, hey, I was in the 2026 class of the Community Partnership School, et cetera. This is how it affected me, and I'm now 26, right? It'd be really cool. But that just shows, obviously the community partnership shows the different organizations that are inside of our schools that are helping our students, and really being able to make sure that they're well-rounded, hopefully eventually well-rounded citizens, and giving them some wraparound services that those students need, those families need. So it's awesome to be a part of that. To the public commenter, was it Simmons, just talking about advocating and students with disabilities advocating for themselves. I know we've got Project Edge on the workshop coming up. So maybe I just ask that we throw something else in other than Project Edge, right? We obviously have programs in our schools, especially in our high schools, and they do a lot of site visits and things like that. I'm sure Tracy Schwartz would love to come in and get a break on a day to come in and present what her class does. But and I only know this just because, of course, my brother had Down syndrome and was in these classes. And to the public, speak to her point, I know my mother and father were definitely big on pushing the district and doing more things, and it not just be somewhat of a babysitting service. And so I'm proud to I know I pushed and we all did Project Edge. So maybe we just have something that shows what else is out there for students with unique ability. So that's all I got. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Joe.
All right.
Mr. Kennedy?
I will also be brief. Pretty much all of my thunder has been stolen, so I don't have much to say. But I did want to just focus on our partners at Manatee who have been there since the inception. Boys and Girls Club, MCR Health, Children's Home Society, the school district in Manatee County, and I'm forgetting somebody. God.
USF.
Yeah, got them all. Okay. And especially USF, because USF is, again, this legislative session going through a time of uncertainty. And I thought it was interesting tonight that on our HR document, we had maybe about 10 new hires for teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And half of them, 5, maybe 6 of them, were from the University of South Florida. So that partnership that we have with USF is really such a key piece of us, finding new teachers out there. In the context of the community partnership model, USF interns are working on campus. I worked with a few at Daughtry that went from intern to staff member at Daughtry. And I do want to congratulate the Manatee team. As the superintendent said, this has been a long time coming. And I know Jesse Garcia and his team at Daughtry and Principal McCullough are right around the corner. They're just a couple years behind in the implementation and going for that certification. And there are about 35 partnership schools that are associated with UCF, and that certification is a tough hurdle to get over. So it really is a commitment to the work that they put in. So I'm really proud of that group. And I don't often get to see the partners, so it was really nice to see everybody in one place, because everybody's so busy. They have their jobs and their missions that they're out there handling. But it was just really great to have everybody in one place, especially with the kids being so involved in the day. So best part of it. So that's it for me, Madam Chair. And again, to the superintendent and team, as I alluded to earlier, thanks for always having us prepared so well for these meetings. And I'm sure it does not go unnoticed by the public. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Belton?
Okay, so a couple of things. I just want to piggyback really quickly on what Mr. Kennedy said about the interns from USF. I had 2 of them when I was a teacher. I had 2 student interns. Both of them were hired out of my classroom and into the school in which I worked, and they were fabulous. And I was so proud to have had them and seen them grow as teachers in my class, and was completely thrilled to be able to turn students over to them because I knew how good they were and how prepared they were to be teachers in our county. So I'm really hoping that their programs are able to continue. As Mr. Clark pointed out, the chili cook-off is coming up in Parrish. I will be a judge please don't make your chili super spicy, because then I'll struggle through the rest of them. But I am a judge. I did it last year too. It's a lot of fun, and the offerings are always phenomenal. So come out, try some chili, support all of our schools that are out there, our organizations that are out there. It's a wonderful event, and it raises money for our community out there in Parrish too. So let's see. So I have been out and about the state twice since our last meeting. I was in Tallahassee for the Greater Florida Consortium of School Boards 2 weeks ago. Everything went really well there. Just a really quick report of everything went well. We were able to meet with several legislators in a small group. Some of us also were able to meet with legislators one-on-one. I had a really long conversation with Representative Blanco out of Miami-Dade. And his wife is a teacher. He's very aligned to the needs of schools, which was wonderful as well. Then, as you know, last week I went to the Keys for the Board of Education presentation of the new rulemaking. I spoke, as I said, that I am a board member, but today I'm speaking as a public school advocate and former Title I middle and high school teacher, and that I appreciated the new rule changes. We only had 1 minute to speak, by the way. So that was a speedy presentation. But the thing that I asked them to address was the specific requirement for Schools of Hope to follow district guidelines and policies for safety and security and behavior, so that when we have issues on campus, that everybody's following the same playbook. When I also spoke afterwards to Chair Petty and Mr. Fogolini one-on-one as well, they expressed interest in what I had to say. So that might be something hopefully we'll hear more about. It would be really great if every school in a building is following the same guidelines for safety. So there's that one. And then, one last thing. Speaking about students with exceptional needs, the Sheriff's Office is putting out stickers, and I'm making sure that I'm pointing this at the camera. There we go. They're giving out stickers that you can put on your house or your car if you need to. This says special needs occupant may be nonverbal, may not respond as expected. These are available through the Sheriff's Office. As anybody who has a family member who doesn't respond as expected or is nonverbal, it might be hard sometimes to make sure that those family members get the care they needed, and that they need to be recognized as that. So when somebody's giving orders, if they're not following those orders, then maybe it's good to have one of these on hand on your house if there's a fire, that they know that there's somebody in there who might need special care. So I just wanted to put that out there for the public. And lastly, I am embarking still on my mission to hit every school in the district in 2 years. I have now made it to 27. I visited 2 high schools last week. I was able to get to Palmetto High and Braden River High School, and I have 5 elementary schools lined up in the next couple weeks.
Nice.
I want to get them all done by next December. We'll see if I can do it. But that's a personal goal for me, because I miss having my own students, and I like to see everybody else's. So that was it. Thank you all again for the presentations, and have a wonderful rest of the week.
Thank you, Ms. Felton. Mr. Tatum.
Yes, good evening. So I too would like to congratulate Manatee L on their Community Partnership School certification, and I look forward to hopefully going to a similar ceremony for Daughtry if they get it done before I leave the board in December. I've also been going to a lot of sporting events, and our teams have been doing well. I know our soccer teams, some of our high school soccer teams did really well, and I went to a baseball game the other day, and when I left, our team was up 4 or 5 runs over their opponent, so that's good. So congratulations to the sports teams. And I am going to make a couple more comments, and then I promise you I'm never going to mention again, because you've all kind of made your wishes known. But the word used to what happened tonight was demeaning, and I actually would just like to really start, at least for me personally, I don't think it's demeaning at all to try and live out what Martin Luther King is actually trying to get us to do, which is to stop looking at people through the color, through the race lens, and actually start looking at people without reference to race anymore. That's what he wanted us to do, and you, Mr. Kennedy, may think that's demeaning. but it's not at all. That's what I'm actually trying to do. I don't want to see race anymore with people. I want to live out Martin Luther King's dream. Second thing I thought was interesting too is we had a good public debate. I mean, I thought it was a good debate on something that was an issue in public policy. We had a respectful debate. The community watched that, and we took a vote, and it's being respected, and we moved forward on it. So I think that's a great example of how to have civil discourse on a public issue that has come up. And I know my constituents feel strongly about it. The ones I talked to said, we'd love to have an American History Month. We don't want to do race-based stuff anymore. We want to honor Martin Luther King. Without exception, every constituent that I talked to, that's what they wanted to happen. But we had a good debate. It was public, and we did it in a well-respected manner, and we respected each other's opinion. And so, but going forward, it's been pretty clear how you all want to deal with these things. So I won't put any more obstacles up to them anymore. But I will just be voting no on any of them that are based on race. I just think that's not how we should go, and I want to try and honor Martin Luther King's wishes on that. And I hope before the good Lord takes me home someday that we can actually stop looking at people based on the color of their skin and start looking at them based on the content of their character. Thank you for your time, and that's all I have to say about that tonight. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. And I'm just going to piggyback on that, on your comments about the proclamation. That whole thing is bigger than just our school district. It's national, and I would recommend something that maybe your ideas or proclamation should be lobbied for at a state and national level, because you feel strongly about that. And I think that's something that you're passionate about. And so I'm not going to try to, all the measurables from everywhere is based on how many Hispanic and Black and white, Asian, how many languages we have in our schools, and how many different, there's so many measurables to try to tackle every one of those would be just real difficult, because we've always measured everything by race. I didn't do that. Somebody did that, and we're just following what even the presidents have done. So that was going to be my comment earlier. Then I just wanted to say too, on the HR that Mr. Kennedy alluded to, we have a few retirees that have 20 plus years. One that I've met a couple of times, Southeast. Yeah, I don't ever try to say names, they're so bad, but I'm so bad at it.
Kira Harwade.
Thank you. 27.5 years. So congratulations on her retirement and coming up. And then there's others that are here. Educational support, Bayshore Elementary Teachers Aid, 22 plus years. So I just wanted to take a moment and recognize all of those that are retiring. Stewart, third grade teacher, 22.5 years, because that's a lot of time, and think of the students that they saw during their career. Just imagine, put them all in one arena, and you probably, oh my, all the adults, and how many leaders that, came out of all of those classes. We did had at MTC, we had a fire class 64, I think it was, that graduated just here recently. And I wanted to say too, on the public commenters, I think Martha Jacobs was alluding to exchange students. I couldn't hear her very well, but I will personally look at the materials that she left behind and see what that's all about. And Ms. Simmons, thank you for coming, and Ms. Worthing for being here all through this meeting. I'm sorry you didn't hear me yell out your name. And also, I just want everybody to recognize my sweater for tennis season. So I will be coming out to courts and visiting practice and or matches. And then to Mr. Choate's point on the students that have been at Manatee L or in any other special program that we provide, I've often said to the superintendent, follow the student's progress if they were involved in a specific program and see what their end results are by the time they get to, graduating. What did they pick up out of that program that bettered their potential for a career than one that did not get to go through that program? And I'm not trying to demean any student that maybe or did not. So that's one of the big things that I've always advocated for since I've been on the board. And now I have a little special thing that I wanted to give each board member.
Gifts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a little gift, and I'll tell you about it when I sit back down.
Surprises.
You good?
Thank you.
Here you go.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. What I gave the board members is a coin. It's a bravery coin. And 22 or 23, I coined the phrase safety over secrets. And little did I know that that would be a good banner slogan. So it's on all of our banners. And we always advocate for students to come forward if they see something, say something. I'm more about safety over secrets. And a student came forward and told us about the potential of a weapon on a bus. And we thwarted that because that student was brave enough to come forward. So I had these coins designed, and on the front is our logo. I should have taken it out. On the front is the school district's logo, Tradition of Excellence, and on the back it says, Safety over secrets, thank you for your bravery. So this will be for not big public display of recognition. This is somebody that came forward in a situation where they felt they needed to go to an adult authority and say that something's going on, whether it's a student to student, staff to student, or anything else in the community. And it's not just to pass out. It's to take that person privately and say, here, we want to say, we thank you for your bravery for coming forward, and it might encourage other students to do the same. So that's what this is for, and I've asked that the superintendent give these to the principals and or anyone else that could maybe benefit from getting this coin for recognition, and maybe they can keep that forever and remember where it came from. So that's my little
This is a beautiful idea.
Oh, thank you. I hope it is. I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. It's either going to go bad or
Oh, it's
really,
lovely.
really good.
That's a
So,
good idea.
yeah.
Two thumbs up.
Thank you so much. Well, you had your be my wingman, and I thought I got to find something. I got to compete with that. So anyway, but that's what that's about, and I hope you enjoy that and encourage your schools and principals when you go to visit. Tell them about the little bravery coin, and they might request one or two to give it to a student. So anyway, that is all that I have. So I will adjourn this meeting at 7:48. Thank you all.